A third major donor to the University of Pennsylvania has pulled funding after saying he is deeply ashamed of being linked to them over their response to Hamas terror attack on Israel. David Magerman, who helped build the trading systems of Renaissance Technologies, has slammed the prestigious university for their response to the conflict. The Torah-observant Jew accused the leadership of UPenn of failing to join Israel's fight against evil, in a letter to President Magill and Chairman Scott Bach. "I am deeply ashamed of my association with the University of Pennsylvania," he said. "I refuse to donate another dollar to Penn. There is no action anyone at Penn can take to change that. You have shown me who you are. My only remaining hope is that all self-respecting Jews, and all moral citizens of the world, dissociate themselves from Penn." Time equals 400 Ms. greater than David Magerman, who helped build the trading systems of Renaissance Technologies, has slammed the prestigious university for their response to the conflict. The Torah-observant Jew accused the leadership of UPenn of failing to join Israel's fight against evil, in a letter to President Magill, left, and Chairman Scott Bach, right. His outrage comes after Apollo CEO Mark Rowan called on those donating to the University of Pennsylvania to pull their funding or send just $1 in protest. Rowan is a graduate of UPenn's Wharton Business School, and donated $50 million to Wharton in 2018 along with his wife. In the letter dated October 15, Magerman took aim at Magill and Bach for what he described as their fierce support for the Hamas-affiliated speakers at the Palestine Rights Festival. Magerman donated $5 million to the school in 2012 with his wife, and continued attacking the board by saying, "Your equivocating statements about the heinous acts of barbarism perpetrated by the same Hamas you allowed these speakers to promote." He said their dismissal would be wholly inadequate, and accused them of presiding over a misguided moral compass at the school, university. President Magill released a statement when contacted by MailOnline.com about Magerman's letter. "Alumni are important members of the Penn community. I hear their anger, pain, and frustration, and am taking action to make clear that I stand, and Penn stands, emphatically against the terrorist attacks by Hamas in Israel and against anti-Semitism," her statement read. "As a university, we support and encourage the free exchange of ideas, along with a commitment to the safety and security of our community and the values we share and work to advance. Penn has a moral responsibility to combat anti-Semitism and to educate our community to recognize and reject hate in all its forms. I've said we should have communicated faster and more broadly about where we stand, but let there be no doubt that we are steadfast in our beliefs." Jonathan Jacobson of Highsage Ventures made good on Rowan's suggestion to donate $1 to the university, calling the college virtually unrecognizable. Time equals 400 Ms. greater than Jacobson and his wife have been major donors, giving tens of millions to UPenn and creating academic scholarships and taking the lead on helping to rebuild the basketball program. There has been a litany of issues over the last several years where the administration has shown no leadership, moral courage, or an ability to distinguish between what is clearly right and clearly wrong, he said. Chairman Bach released an open letter addressing the complaints against the university and his role on the board of trustees as well as Magill. Apollo CEO Mark Rowan has called on those donating to the University of Pennsylvania to pull their funding or send just $1 in protest. J.L. Partners polled 1,000 Americans on October 10 to 12 for their views on the Israel-Palestinian conflict in the wake of the deadly Hamas attack that killed at least 1,300 people, bodies waiting for burial in Gaza City after Israeli airstrikes. Published in the Daily Pennsylvanian, Bach said that Mar Rowan's letter creates confusion and division at a time when clear thinking and solidarity are so badly needed. He said, "We are horrified by the terrorist attacks on Israel by Hamas and the ongoing and unimaginable violence being carried out against innocent people. We condemn those attacks in the strongest possible terms. Penn stands with our Jewish community, our students and their families, our faculty and staff, our alumni, and the people of Israel. And we strongly condemn anti-Semitism in all forms and everywhere." Time equals 400 Ms. greater than the college has been hit with calls to fire 2 senior members of staff over allegations they have made anti-Semitic comments. Bach also accused Rowan of actively working to divide the community, describing Penn as a remarkable institution with a vibrant community of students, faculty, staff, and alumni. He added, "The Penn community is not monolithic. The diversity of views and perspectives means there will be disagreements and not everyone will be satisfied, particularly in fast-moving, horrifically tragic situations where emotions are understandably raw and inflamed. I hope we can continue to work together to get through those moments, to learn from them, and to move forward as an institution, for the benefit of the community we serve. Magill and I remain committed to maintaining Penn as a beacon of light, a place where knowledge is created, and where our Jewish students and faculty, along with students and faculty of every race, creed, and nationality, feel supported and can thrive, especially during such difficult times. Former U.S. Ambassador John Huntsman, who graduated from the university in 1987, has also blasted the university, and vowed to halt his family's donations. His father, Huntsman Sr., donated $50 million to the school up until his death in 2018, with John saying the foundation will close its checkbook on future donations. Posters of American and Israeli hostages snatched by Hamas were plastered across Harvard with "kidnapped" emblazoned across the top. Time equals 400 ms. Greater than demonstrators take part in an emergency rally. Stand with Palestinians under siege in Gaza, amid the ongoing conflict between Israel and the Palestinian Islamist group Hamas. At Harvard University in Cambridge, Massachusetts, on Saturday, Magill and Provost John L. Jackson previously issued a statement on the Hamas attacks. While University Board of Trustees Chair Scott Bach condemned the atrocious terrorist attacks, in an updated statement following the backlash, Magill condemned Hamas and emphasized the university's position on anti-Semitism. She referred to the violence from Hamas as a terrorist assault, a change from her initial statement. Former U.S. Ambassador John Huntsman, who graduated from the university in 1987, has also blasted the university and vowed to halt his family's donations. His father, Huntsman Sr., donated $50 million to the school up until his death in 2018. With John saying the foundation will close its checkbook on future donations. In a letter to Liz Magill, Huntsman said that Penn has become deeply adrift in ways that make it almost unrecognizable. The university's silence in the face of reprehensible and historic Hamas evil against the people of Israel, when the only response should be outright condemnation, is a new low, he added. Silence is anti-Semitism, and anti-Semitism is hate, the very thing higher ed was built to obviate. As the chair of the Wharton School's Board of Advisors, Rowan called for President Magill and Bach to step down last week, citing the university's handling of anti-Semitism on campus. The Wexner Foundation pulled their support from the school entirely, after donating at least $56 million over the course of 30 years. Israeli billionaire Aiden Ofer and his wife Batia have stepped down from an executive board at Harvard after previously donating $20 million to the school. Vice chair of the University of Pennsylvania's Board of Trustees, Julie Platt, said she stood behind Magill in a statement. The university has publicly committed to unprecedented steps to further combat anti-Semitism on its campus, reaffirmed deep support for our Jewish community, and condemned the devastating and barbaric attacks on Israel by Hamas, she said. The Executive Committee of Penn's Board of Trustees has unanimously endorsed the actions taken by the university, and I have full confidence in the leadership of President Liz Magill and Chair Scott Bach. Both UPenn and Harvard have been hit hardest by the backlash, with a host of alumni calling on the colleges to do better as some revoked their funding entirely. The latest blow to Harvard has seen the Wexner Foundation pull their support from the school entirely, after donating at least $56 million over the course of 30 years. In a statement, the foundation said they feel stunned and sickened at Harvard's failure to take a clear and unequivocal stand against the barbaric murders of innocent Israeli civilians. Israeli billionaire Aiden Ofer and his wife Batia have stepped down from an executive board at Harvard after previously donating $20 million to the school. Forbes valued their worth at $20 billion, among the world's 100 most wealthy people. The backlash came after 34 Harvard student groups signed up to a letter that blamed Israel for Hamas' massacre of Jewish people. It said, "We, the undersigned student organizations, hold the Israeli regime entirely responsible for all unfolding violence.